December 1944. The Ardennes. A German Panther tank is found, abandoned. Its engine is still running. But the crew inside, they're dead, eyes frozen in terror. A distress call plays on loop. Help us. They found us. But when American soldiers answer, the radio responds in their own voices. They try to leave, but the snow keeps leading them back to the tank. Their own voices start playing before they speak. The wind howls through the Ardennes, carrying the bitter bite of winter. Crunch. My boots sink into fresh snow as we push forward through the frost-covered trees. The world is silent, unnaturally so. No distant gunfire, no movement, just the weight of an unseen presence hanging in the air. Then our radio crackles. A burst of static, a distorted voice. Helft uns, Sie sind hier. Help us, they are here. We all stop. Private Mitchell glances at me, his breath fogging in the cold. That wasn't one of ours, he whispers. Another burst of static. Then the same message repeats, warped, like it's decayed over time. I grab the radio. Say again, over? Nothing. Just silence. Then a faint whispering deep within the static. Hayes, our radio operator, adjusts the frequency. It's German, he mutters, and it's coming from somewhere close. Then Carter points ahead. A shape in the snow, a hulking shadow against the white. A German Panther tank, motionless, its hull covered in frost. But the engine is still running. The Panther sits motionless, a steel beast frozen in time. But the engine hums softly, sending faint plumes of heat into the icy air. It doesn't make sense. Where is the crew? I motion to Carter and Mitchell to cover the sides while Hayes and I approach the turret. Clang. I rap my knuckles against the frozen steel. No response. Private Mitchell grips his rifle tighter. Sir, I don't like this. I ignore the sinking feeling in my gut and climb up. My gloved fingers wrap around the hatch, ice cracking under my grip. With a deep breath, I pull. Kriak. The hatch swings open. The stench hits us first. Not decay, but something metallic, something wrong. Then we see them. The entire German crew, 5 men, still inside, dead, but there are no wounds. They sit in their positions, their frozen faces twisted in expressions of pure terror. Carter curses under his breath. Hayes, the rational one, leans in closer. No gunshots, no blood, no struggle. It's like they just stopped. One of the dead men is still gripping the radio, his fingers locked in rigor mortis, the same radio still transmitting that distress call. I reach forward, just as I touch the cold metal of the radio. We opened the door. Now they have taken us. A whisper, not from the radio, from inside the tank. The inside of the Panther is suffocatingly cold. Frost clings to the steel walls, but the engine is still warm. My breath fogs in the dim light. The crew is dead, yet the radio still transmits. Hayes hesitates, then grips the radio handset. This is Sergeant Daniels of the 101st. Identify yourself. Over. Silence. Then a burst of static. A voice seeps through. They found us. The hollowed. It's inside. The same distress call. The exact same words. Hayes tries again. Who is speaking? Over. Static. Then our own voices echo back. Who is speaking? Over. I snatch the radio away. This is Sergeant Daniels. Respond. The reply comes immediately. This is Sergeant Daniels. Respond. A perfect mimic. Our voices played back to us before we even spoke. Private Mitchell stumbles backward, nearly slipping off the tank. What the hell is that? Then, the radio crackles again. The whispering returns, twisting into something else. Laughter. Low, guttural, inhuman. Something shifts inside the tank, a deep metallic groan, like the steel itself is breathing. Carter curses, stepping away from the hull. "Sir, we need to leave, now." I agree. But as we turn to go, the radio turns on by itself. The voice that speaks next isn't German. It's mine. "Daniels, don't leave. You're already here." We don't waste time. We need to leave. Snow crunches beneath our boots as we move away from the tank, weapons ready. Carter leads the way. Hayes keeps his radio tight to his chest. Nobody speaks. The trees stretch endlessly ahead. The frost-covered pines, the frozen ground, the same path we came from. Mitchell exhales, almost out. Then, Carter stops dead. His body stiffens. His breath sharpens. I follow his gaze. We're back at the tank. The same frozen metal beast. The same dead crew inside. My pulse pounds. We never turned back. We walked in a straight line. "This isn't possible," Hayes whispers. The radio crackles. "This isn't possible," the radio repeats. Carter spins, his voice rising. It's a trick, a mind game. The Germans... Then the radio cuts him off. "The Germans are dead, just like you." The wind howls through the trees. I turn to Hayes, but his face is drained of color. "Sir, I didn't say that." We all freeze. Something else is speaking now. Something that knows us. I grip my rifle tighter, forcing a breath. We need to stay calm. Mitchell isn't calm. He's shaking, his breath coming in short, panicked bursts. This is a trap. We have to keep moving. We have to... Carter grabs him by the shoulder. "Hey, keep it together." Mitchell rips away from his grip, stumbling back. "No, you don't get it. I don't feel right." I step forward, my voice steady. "What do you mean?" Mitchell grips his helmet like his skull is splitting apart. "I don't remember walking back here. I don't remember turning around. 1 second we were leaving, and the next..." He stops, eyes wide. I follow his gaze to the ground. His footprints are missing. There are prints from me, Carter, and Hayes in the snow. Mitchell has none. "No, no, no, no!" He staggers, his breath visible in the freezing air. I take a step closer. "Mitchell, breathe. You're right here. You're fine." He shakes his head violently. "No, if I was here, I'd leave footprints." A horrible silence. No one moves. No one breathes. Then the radio crackles. "Mitchell is already gone." The voice isn't human. The snow around Mitchell shifts, sinking slightly, as if something unseen is standing there. Then, Mitchell screams. His body jerks violently, as if something just grabbed him. And then, he's gone. Just gone. No sound, no movement, no sign he was ever there. Only empty snow, and the radio playing back his scream. Mitchell is gone. Just vanished. No blood, no struggle, not even footprints left behind. Carter is breathing too fast, his rifle shaking in his grip. This isn't happening. This isn't... I grab him. "Stay with me, soldier." Hayes kneels, touching the snow where Mitchell stood. His voice is hollow. It just swallowed him. Then, the radio clicks back on. "Mitchell is already gone." We all freeze. It's not just repeating. The voice sounds different now. Carter tightens his grip on his rifle. "Turn it off. Turn it off." Hayes scrambles to the radio pack, rips out the power supply. The radio dies. Silence. Then it turns back on by itself. A new transmission. A whisper. Garbled. Distorted. "Carter is already gone." I turn. Carter is still there, his breathing ragged, his hands shaking. Then, I see his shadow. It's delayed. The real Carter moves, but his shadow lingers behind. The radio crackles again. "You should run." Then, Carter blinks, and his eyes go completely black. I take a step back. Carter isn't blinking. His pupils are too dark, too wide. His breath is slow. unnatural. Hayes grips my arm, whispering, "Sir, that's not him." Carter tilts his head slightly. The motion is off, too smooth, too deliberate. "We need to go," I say carefully. Carter doesn't move. "Carter?" His mouth twists into a slow, unnatural grin. A perfect replica, but slightly wrong. The radio crackles. "Carter is already gone." Then he speaks. "Where would you go, Daniels? There's nothing outside, just the snow, just the hollowed." My chest tightens. He knows my name. I never said it. Hayes starts backing up slowly, hands shaking. Then Carter moves. Not a step, not a shift. One moment he's standing still. The next he's inches from me. I flinch back, raising my rifle. Hayes stumbles, panicked. Carter laughs. It's his voice, but doubled, layered with something deeper, something ancient.
"You never left, Daniels. You're still at the tank."
The radio clicks, and then I hear my own voice. "You're still at the tank." I jerk back, rifle raised, my pulse hammering. Hayes stumbles away, his breath coming in ragged gasps. Carter, or whatever he is now, just stands there, smiling. But his shadow lags again. A second late, just slightly, out of sync. Hayes grips my sleeve. "We have to go, now." I don't argue. We bolt through the trees, snow kicking up behind us. The wind howls louder now, or is that laughter? The radio crackles from my pack, though I never touched it. "You cannot leave." We push harder, but the trees are wrong. Every path looks the same bent branch, the same frozen trench. And then I see them. Footprints in the snow. Ours, going in circles. My stomach drops. We've been running, but we never left. "Daniels." The voice is behind me. I turn. Carter is there, smiling, waiting. But he's not alone. There are two of him now. The second Carter steps forward. Same uniform, same face. The hollowed don't kill. They multiply. I stumble back, rifle shaking in my grip. Two Carters, identical, watching, smiling. Hayes grabs my arm. "Sir, what do we do?" I can't answer. The forest feels smaller. The snow presses in. The wind is howling. But I don't feel any air moving. The radio clicks again. "You cannot leave." The second Carter steps forward. I raise my rifle and fire. The shot echoes through the trees, slamming into Carter's chest. And nothing happens. No blood, no reaction. Just a flicker. Like a bad signal struggling to hold its shape. Then both Carters tilt their heads at the same time. The radio crackles. "That won't work." Hayes fires too. The bullets pass through as if they aren't even there. The second Carter steps closer, too fast, too smooth. His eyes are completely black. "Daniels." The whisper is right next to me. I spin, and there's a third Carter standing behind me, smiling, waiting. I freeze. The hollowed don't kill. They replace. I don't breathe. Three Carters, standing too still, smiling too wide, their eyes black voids. Hayes whispers, barely audible, "Sir, I don't think we ever left the tank." The radio crackles. "You never did." A deep cold grips my spine. My mind races. What does that mean? Did we never leave? Were we replaced already? No. No, I won't accept that. I grab Hayes and move. We run. Branches whip past. Our boots sink in the snow. I don't know where we're going. Only away. The radio keeps speaking. "It's too late." I rip it from Hayes' pack and slam it into a tree. The sound doesn't stop. The voice isn't coming from the radio anymore. It's coming from inside my head. Hayes suddenly stumbles, falling forward into the snow. I turn. His hands are shaking. Sir. He lifts them. His fingertips are fading, like static, like an old photograph disintegrating. I reach for him. But when I grab his arm, my own fingers start to flicker. I choke back a scream. We're disappearing. Or worse, we're being rewritten. I pull Hayes to his feet. We keep moving. No more talking. No more thinking. Just run. The trees blur past, fading at the edges, like a dream falling apart. We never left the tank, Hayes says. Again, his voice is shaking. Shut up. They're still inside it, Daniels. The real crew, and we. A bullet slams into a tree beside us. I whirl around, raising my rifle, but there's nothing there. Then another shot. Closer. Hayes drops behind a log, his hands trembling. Who is shooting? I don't know. Then I see them. Figures moving between the trees. Blurry, distorted, wearing our uniforms. But their faces, they're not finished. Like something is still forming them. One of them raises a rifle. It looks exactly like mine. Then it fires. The gunfire stops, instantly, like a radio switching off. Hayes and I breathe hard, gripping our weapons. Silence falls. Then, the radio crackles. Come back to the tank, Daniels. I freeze. The voice is mine. I glance at Hayes. He is staring straight ahead. Frozen. Hayes? No answer. I step toward him. His fingers twitch. Hayes? He turns. His eyes are black. A slow smile creeps across his face.
We were never supposed to leave.
Then he vanishes. Just gone. The radio clicks again. Come back to the tank, Daniels. The same voice, the same words. I turn. The Panther is right behind me, waiting. Its turret slowly, mechanically turning toward me. I stand there, frozen. The Panther waits. The radio clicks again. Come back to the tank, Daniels. I raise my rifle. My hands are flickering now, like I don't exist anymore. I take a slow step forward. Every part of my body screams to run, but my boots move anyway. Step, step. The turret stops. The hatch clicks open, and I hear it. Breathing. Something inside. Waiting. Come back to the tank, Daniels. I grip my rifle. I make my choice. I step forward, and the hatch slams shut. Darkness. Cold metal presses against my back. My fingers feel stiff, unmovable. I try to breathe, but I don't feel my lungs expanding. I'm inside the Panther. I don't remember getting in. The radio crackles to life. Come back to the tank, Daniels. My voice. I asterisk jerk forward, trying to move. But my body feels wrong, stiff, like I've been here too long. I manage to turn my head slightly. Hayes sits next to me, frozen, eyes wide, not blinking. Mitchell is there too. Carter, the whole squad, but they aren't breathing. A wave of pure terror crashes over me. No, 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 no. I reach for the hatch. My hands barely move, like I'm stuck. Then, the periscope shifts. I see them. A new squad approaching. American soldiers, just like us. One of them steps forward. His radio crackles. This is Sergeant Daniels of the 101st. Identify yourself. Over. My blood runs cold. I just said that. I try to scream, to warn them. But my lips won't move. The radio crackles again. Come back to the tank, Daniels. The voice is clear, strong. I finally understand. It was never calling to me. It was me. Outside, the new squad moves closer. The wind howls through the trees. Their radio crackles. Helftuns, see sind higher. The squad leader stops. Did you hear that? Another soldier nods. It's coming from that tank. They step forward. The Panther sits silent, waiting. Then the radio crackles again. This is Sergeant Daniels of the 101st. Identify yourself. Over. Their squad leader hesitates. 101st? That's us, but we haven't sent anything. Silence. Then from inside the tank, the hatch creaks open, waiting. The last soldier hesitates. You think someone's still alive in there? The squad leader steps closer. The screen cuts to black. The radio plays one last time. Come back to the tank, Daniels.